I know that I'm disruptive, and I look at it as an honor because my end game is to contribute. What I want to do is get skills to the practitioner on the ground and restore honor back to our honorable service.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and. All right, so Short Circuit, a little spinoff of the Circuit podcast at which me, Elijah Shaw, because I'm never around, I'm going to do my own little mini podcast, and I decided that I could, since I'm doing a podcast, I could bring my friends up. And so today I got a really special guest. It's a good friend of mine. He's also a podcaster, so this is great because I get to turn the tables on him a little bit.
Yep.
He's had me on his show quite a few times or whatever, so now I get to ask all of the probing questions. But really what that means, we're just going to laugh this whole episode. But I've got Byron Rodgers, who is the CEO of Bravo Research Group and also the founder of the Executive Protection Lifestyle. And under the Executive Protection Lifestyle, we've got a lot of different branches, which is the things that we're talking to. I mean, you've got a school.
Yes.
You know, you've got a league, which I don't even know if we should get to that point yet. So we got a few different things, right?
Yeah, man. I've been busy, but it's an honor to be here, man. It's always so cool to spend time with you, man, digitally or in person. It's an honor.
That's fine.
100%. Thanks for having me. Boom.
So, well, thank you, bro. Again, glad to have you on the Short Circuit. And I want to just jump right into it.
Let's go.
But what I want to do is how we've done in the past is I've got 3 rapid fire questions.
Boom.
They don't require, yeah, exactly, bro.
And this is,
they don't require.
I ain't even seen these questions.
So, which was intentional, bro.
Right.
They don't require a whole bunch of thought, but just tell me like the first thing that comes to mind or whatever. So the first one is, what's one thing that you love about the industry?
Oh, man,
see, it wasn't hard.
Yeah. You know what I love about EP, man? Well, geez, man, I'll try to make this quick. Like, I love that I'm a warrior at heart. I always believe that in every warrior civilization, there's a special class of individuals that were set aside, given more training, like the Praetorian Guard, so to speak, to protect the nobility of the time. So I also think that no greater love than this in a man that would lay down his life for another. So my ethos for protection is so much deeper than the client I'm with. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And it's giving me an excuse to really let that warrior ethos I have from the Marine Corps live on in my everyday life. And it's kept me out of a desk job. And right now, I'm trying to get out of a desk. You know what I'm saying? That's a few.
I got you. Okay. So basically you said this is Sparta, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. This is the new Sparta right up in here.
Yeah, what's your profession, right?
Exactly.
Fire. I get it.
You get
it. Okay. So the second question is almost the inverse of that.
Yeah.
But, it is, if I gave you a magic wand and you could wave it and change one thing about the industry that, I don't even want to say, hey, that you dislike, or again, that you wish change had come to, what do you think that would be?
Man, there's a few. I got like 3 in my head already,
Now you get one, bro. You get one.
You get one. Chill out. Hey, I would have there's 2 major ones, but I'll go with the one that really causes me the most pain, which is, it can be in Christian West said it best, it can be the most unfair industry, at least that I've ever known, in terms of I've seen good dudes in this game get sent home over things that clients just, does this dude smell like a mechanic? You're like, no, sir. He smells like a mechanic. Get him out of here. Make sure he doesn't bleed on the carpet on the way out. Yeah, you can just be cutthroat. Like,
no, I'm tracking. Okay.
You're like, no, sir. Well, I think someone did. That guy, front seat, get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? He'll never be on the jet again. You're like, whoa, right. Like, it can be like, boom, done, curtains. And I've seen good dudes that I would go to war with, shoulder to shoulder with, not make it because of things that I personally know we could have worked through, That's huge for me because I'm all about my guys,
And I guess the other parts of that too is it's also a challenge explaining to them, hey man, it's not really you, but still you're getting on this plane. I got to buy you this ticket.
Yeah, exactly. We got to leave you on the tarmac.
Yeah, no, that's a real one, bro. I can see that.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so now I'm getting really switch gears on you.
All right,
okay?
let's go.
All right, so I need you to name one person, past or present,
okay,
living or dead,
okay,
that you would have liked to or want to provide protective services to?
Wow.
Somebody you wish you would have, like, if I was born in this era or something. Yeah.
Oh man, I got 3 in my head right now.
You get one, bro.
I would love, oh man, I can't just, okay. So it would be, it would be between, if I was going to make a decision, because I have 3 archetypes that I really, really love. And I think it would probably be, I'd be going between Miyamoto Musashi and Julius Caesar. Ooh, or maybe even Jesus. That'd be gangster. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That was just popped in my head. But, but yeah, with the warrior ethos, man. The things you can learn shadowing Miyamoto Musashi and letting him get in his, yeah, it'd be one of those. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I might edit out 2 of them, or like put the little bleep or whatever.
I over-deliver, man.
The show.
It's a side effect,
I got it, bro. You just gotta just keep pushing the envelope, right?
right.
All right. So here I really want to kind of get into the meat and potatoes. And one of the things we do in the short circuit is we try and drill down on the topic.
Wow.
And what I want to talk to you about is relationships in EP. And the reason I want to talk to you about it, because I think you do kind of a masterful job in kind of managing relationships, and, dealing with this group here and dealing with this group here and bringing these groups together. And so I guess I'll start off by saying, like, why is forging and strengthening relationships between protectors important? What do you think?
Man, it's the cheat code, man. It is, because everybody so what I talk about when I talk about the hidden art of success in executive protection is social dynamics of executive protection. I believe that's the hidden art of success. My first detail, we started with 13 guys. We drilled it down to 2 dudes. We're traveling the country, 60 some countries in 1 year. It was insane. Did that for 7 years. Started with 13 dudes. I saw 30 some dudes come through and audition for this position as one other guy to work next to me in Cali. And every time one of these dudes would show up, it'd be like, this dude's, retired law enforcement, Navy SEAL, Secret Service. Like, these dudes are bigger and badder than me. They're dudes I wanted to be. But I started to realize, like, well, I thought they were going to take my spot every time, dog. Like, every single time I was like, that's it. I'm 21. I just got a record. Right. Who am I, right? So, but I started to realize that there's so much to be said. There's an ology to why I ended up staying there. There's an art form to why I ended up staying there. Crystallized that. Went, rebuilt my books in Florida, started from being a bouncer in Cali, built my career, right? Went to Florida, took what I learned in Cali, reapplied it, built my career up in Florida again, came back to Cali, did it all over again. And what I learned was that social dynamics and building relationships, business is the commerce of relationships. Everything that comes in and out of your life and your business especially is relationships. The money you can make in this industry is the fruit that comes from your relationships, but never choose the money over the relationship, because all that comes from that relationship equity you're able to have. Your ability to influence, this is a relational game. The ability to influence. And one of the huge things I try to teach my teams, and I teach at my school, is how to influence an environment of cooperation over competition on the detail and with all of the other auxiliary staff members in the game. Because these cats be thinking we just the EP dudes, and it's just us against the world. And it's not. It needs to be all of us working together to get a superior product to our principals and clients, right? That's why I call my company the element of security. It's a periodic table these clients are sitting here and experiencing, right? We're just one element on the chart, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm tracking that.
So the relational aspect of this game, I seen dudes, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the best, I ain't the sexiest, I ain't really got my 6 packs like but I've been able to really win because I have focused on the relationship aspect and the influence and the cultural equity you can have with your principals and clients and auxiliary staff members in that environment, those spheres of relationships I talk about when I talk about social dynamics. And you're going to make mistakes. What's going to keep you alive? Relationship equity.
Sure.
What's going to make the principals and clients comfortable with you? Relationship equity. You know what I'm saying? What's going to make it so that nanny doesn't give you the dagger when the client or principal when the P walks in the house and is like, yo, what do you think about this Byron cat? He made a wrong turn today. She's going to be like, either he's a jerk and he thinks he's top flight security of the world, or she's going to be like, you know what? he may have made a mistake, but Byron, I think he's a really good guy. He's the right guy for the job. He's probably kicking himself right now, but I think you should definitely, give him a chance, let him grow into the position. I find that relationship equity and being able to forge relationships, even amongst other EP companies in my area, I find a lot of value in having those relationships because we share dudes, we share info. I just got bit because I didn't know who somebody was. And I talked to my guy afterwards and he's like, yo, that guy. And, it was good, man. I think that's something.
No, because that's actually where you ended at was where I wanted to go to, which was, I think, because I think the majority of the listeners to the show are in the profession or would like to get into the profession.
Yeah.
And I think everybody gets or can see the logic in, hey, we do want to establish a relationship with the protectee staff,
right?
With the C-suite, right, with the assistant, the other people that are making the decisions.
Yeah.
But I think historically, amongst protectors, we're kind of a dog eat dog kind of world,
kind of like Highlander.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Highlander. Yeah, we talked about this. There could only be one.
That jump's gonna live forever in the digital EP spirit, though.
But this is what I mean. It's we're competitive in theory because we think that's the only way we're going to get this client,
right? Or
only way we're going to keep this client,
right?
And so, I need to have this tactical advantage, and that means that I have to keep everything close to my chest,
right?
Or I can't assist, or I can't help you out, or I can't problem solve with you because it might take something away from me.
My plate.
And so, again, the thing that I want to give you kudos for is that I think you've done a really great job in navigating that space,
right?
What's the secret? How have you found success?
You really want the secret? Yo, I'm finna give you the secret sauce. The beautiful thing about these types of about this stuff is, it's like when Jesus would be like, let him who has ears to hear, let him hear. He's like, basically, I'm gonna put you on game. But some of y'all ain't
are you gonna listen?
Yeah, exactly. Some of y'all just ain't gonna be able to accept it. Or understand it. People can hear based on where they're at in their development and all these internal gears, inner psychic world, like mental metabolism stuff, right? So really, it's an abundance mindset, man. That's really what it is. So when I am linking up with other companies, it's always like, yo, how can we help each other? Like, let's make sure that we support each other. When I get that gig, I got a call for a gig with like 50 dudes earlier this year. And me, man, I'm a hammer. I'm going to figure it out. I'll build a parachute on the way down, right? But there's this moment where I'm like, yo, I'm going to need all my dogs and all my other PPOs that I know, during COVID, during the riots, man, we're getting slammed with work out here. I had to give work away, but I was so blessed that I had other PPOs in the area. I go like, yo, you got a few guys, you got anybody. And I was able to band together. When we're vetting guys, I hit up a few of the other PPOs in the area. So there's a lot, and we respect each other instead of fight each other. So environments of competition over cooperation are environments of higher attrition. Environments of cooperation over competition are environments where we can thrive more easily. You go watch the Discovery Channel. Everyone talks about survival of the fittest. That's cool, and we all hard, right? But if you watch the Discovery Channel tonight, and my man, Darwin, this was another theory he spoke about, which was, yo, you watch the pack of gazelles. The lion is looking for its elimination of the weakest, survival of the pack, right? So me and the other PPOs out here in Southern California, we stay in our lanes. I hear that this dude's working for that company. I respect that. I always respect that. They hear the same thing. So I have more protection for my guys out there in the field. There's less companies trying to steal them. And then at the same time, we're cross-referencing all kinds of stuff. We respect each other's contracts. You know what I'm saying? So it actually creates a lot more stability. It is just seriously the results you get from an abundance mindset rather than a mindset of scarcity.
So wow, I mean, that was a lot to unpack, and I think that was great, bro. No,
cool.
I thought we were going to be cracking jokes this whole time. But you're just saying there's a simple fix to this, which is just change your way of thinking.
Yes, that's it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's counterintuitive. So it's a little counterintuitive because at face value, you're like, all right, we're in competition. It's like, nah, man, let's get to know each other. Let's find out, what are your property lines? You know what I mean? Like, What are the where do you exist? You know, and
Sure.
if I get a client or something big happens in their space or something like that, I can hit my dude up and like, yo, bro, you know, I've been respecting you, you're respecting me. This opens the door for us to have a much higher quality dialogue. How are you dealing with this, man? I got a client that wants me to do the same type of stuff you've been doing, you know, and they know I'm not trying to take food off their plate, and vice versa. So they're like, yo, these are my cheat codes. And man, it's been really valuable.
No, I get that, bro. And you know, you and I, we've had conversations, many conversations offline, you know, about similar.
Yeah.
And I know it's been successful for you. You know, you know, there's tangible proof, there's quantifiable proof that it's been successful for you. So when someone goes, it can't be done, or how's he doing it? You just told him how you're doing it, you know. But here's the other piece too, as well. And we haven't talked about this before, so you know, you don't have to agree with this.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, everyone uses this term networking.
Oh yeah.
But I think that networking and building relationships aren't necessarily the same thing.
Different things.
You agree with this? Okay, all right.
Exactly.
All right. So we haven't talked about this before. What's your thought?
Yeah, man. So really, to go more transparent under that last principle, the gentleman, all the other PPOs in the environment, they're guys that I have a deeper relationship with. They understand my values, they understand my ethos, they understand my honor code, you know? So we're not just business relationships. Now I can meet another PPO and we can build a relationship like this, but these are guys that I shoot with and train with that are on the same trajectory as me, just happens to be in the same space very often, right? You know, networking is like, hey, we met at an event and we have each other's phone numbers. We said we could be assets to each other. And we could establish a professional reciprocal relationship probably at some time. You know what I'm saying? Now, actually building relationships, mind you, I'm always going for the relationship though. You know, obviously I keep my inner circle really small, but the real value comes from relationship equity, which is really trust, you know? So the networking is superficial until I can really establish trust. And once the trust starts to happen, this is when doors start opening for you, and more doors in your handle very often.
So the networking is kind of the introduction.
Exactly.
And then a vetting process has to happen.
Yes.
And then you build that trust.
Right. Which comes from experience, just like confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you're arrogant. No. I have experiences with myself that validate my capabilities. And that's confidence. If I was guessing, it'd be, and that's trust in a relationship, you know? So that's kind of how I approach it, but I'm always going for a relationship generally.
And it's because of that, I think some people get a little bit lost on why they can't skip a step. You know, hey, I met Byron at an event.
Yeah.
I gave him my card. How come he hasn't called me for this detail?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I networked with him. You know what I mean? I passed out 20 cards, you know?
Yes.
So they miss that part.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you can have a whole bunch of numbers in your iPhone.
Yeah.
Or on your Rolodex. You can have them, you know.
I mean, not Instagram, but LinkedIn. Like you could have followed everybody on LinkedIn. They could have followed you back, you know?
Yeah. But if you need to call up that firepower, that star power, you know, hey, I need a hard vehicle in, you know, Guatemala, like, you know, whatever that piece is, those are relationships.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And relationships are going to have you go the extra mile for someone.
Yep.
Or vice versa.
Yes.
You know, someone being in your network is wonderful. But again, there's stages, there's a process. Here, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that you've done, again, kudos to you for this, is that you created this Protectors Symposium.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, so you did a symposium. What are you on, 3.0 right now?
We just dropped 4.0. We're building 5.0 right now. Man.
Right. So 4.0.
Yeah.
But
having bad.
Part,
no worries.
But part of this entity here are the speakers that you bring to it. With different backgrounds, you know what I mean?
About relationships now. That's exactly what you're talking about right now.
That's where I'm getting at here. You know what I mean? And you know, not to say these guys are speaking for free or anything like that.
Is it not?
But they're answering your call.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For a reason. They're saying I can carve this time out of my schedule for a reason.
Right.
And that reason, I would attribute, you can tell me if I'm wrong, is because of the strength of the relationships you develop?
Yes. I think it's twofold. And I think the other thing to this that I think is really important is networking is tactical, and relationship building needs to be, it's tactically genuine. You really cannot be tactical when it comes to when you're, because I don't have time to necessarily be like, yo, dog, want to go get a bite to eat? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, hey, it breaks my heart. Like, people be hitting me up like, let's go get coffee. I'm like, do you understand? Right now, I got 70 text messages right now at this moment, people. You know what I mean? So it's exactly what you're talking about. For a guy who's a brand guy who's built a brand, you know, some of these brands like, you know, Tony Summit on Real World Tactical, he's got the most sponsors in the tactical space. Dude's got millions of these brands are monsters. And then for them to give me the time of day and answer my call and then commingle their brand with mine. This is really huge. And a lot of that, I believe, comes from like when we have our butt sniffing content, like when we get on the phone and we start talking with each other, getting a feel for each other, we'll usually have like an hour-long conversation, feeling each other out, but also or we've met at an event, we've met out in the field, and that's where kind of the genuine handshake started happening. We've seen each other out there move and everything. So there's a fusion between your reputation and your street credit, and your brand will precede you. This is very important. And then when you meet that with in person, being as advertised and in conversation, that feeling where dudes' values align and they're like, yo, we can do work. This is where it's like the magical combination, you know what I'm saying? And then they see something that you're building or doing in the space that they're like, I want to be a part of, or I respect that. And it's very easy to get that type of access and to work with powerful people, in my experience. Easier.
No, I like that. I got it. I got it.
You know.
Okay, so we're at, you know, the symposium, the Protector Symposium 4.0.
Yes,
done.
Yes.
5.0, you got cooking.
Yes, sir.
You told me about that. Yeah, you got that cooking in the pot or whatever. But also, you know, in December, you've got the Executive Protection Forum.
Right.
And that's happening in Vegas.
It's going down.
And so again, that there's something else that's bubbling that I think I would attribute to, because I know the roster. I know the roster closely,
right.
But I would attribute that to, again, relationships,
100%. 100%.
So again, for those who aren't as familiar, what's the Executive Protection Forum?
So the EP Forum is going to be a one-day event. It's going to be fast, and we are going to jam a whole bunch of value into one day for you. We've got, I think it's 7 amazing speakers coming to you that day. Your very own, you know, Elijah Shaw is going to be one of them. And I'm excited. I can't wait to hear this.
So you got 6 amazing speakers and then me, right?
Yeah, right, man. And what I'm really excited about is the fact that many of these speakers, they're not on the speaking circuit. Like, you may never get to hear, you know, Caleb Gilbert speak. You may never get to hear Jackie Davis speak, you know, the top female EP agent over there in the UK.
Coming from the UK?
Yeah, right? Like, you may never get to hear any of these people ever again speak and bring their knowledge to the game, nor have you probably ever heard them speak, right? So I'm ultra excited about it. And we're using, you know, because I know some of the shots, you know, I hear some of the shots out there that are like, yo, what makes it different than, you know, the Close Protection Conference? And I got to make it clear that we are just trying to add to the value that an EP agent can get while they're in town for the Close Protection Conference. So we're in our own way trying to contribute to what everyone can get. We're not trying to compete or anything like that. This is just a one-day pop-up event where you can get an extremely high amount of value to add to what you're either doing there, or if you just have one day, because I know I didn't come for a while because I only had one day to the other conference. I was like, well, I'll go shoot and then I'll roll out. Or if you don't want to shoot, we've got an awesome option for you. And then there's some technological things we're doing to kind of really make it a different experience than you're just butts and seats for 8 hours as well. But look like you're going to say something on the seat.
No. Only just because I thought that was important. I'm glad you actually spoke on that, because that weekend is also the ISPB, the Coast Protection Conference.
Yes.
And so it's existing in that space.
Yeah.
So someone might have like, hey, do I have to choose between one or the other?
Right.
Or, what he just talked about cooperation, not competition.
Exactly.
Is this so I'm glad you
Yes.
kind of touched on that, because you'll be at, you have a presence at at the Close Protection Conference.
100%. Right? I'll be right out there. Okay. I think I have a table out there in the in the foyer, so you guys will all see me there hanging, man. I can't wait to meet all you guys and shake hands and see the field, but see the guys who've been out doing the work. But the mission here is to make sure you guys can maximize the value you get if you're coming into the Close Protection Conference. And the conference begins at 6 p.m. Our event ends at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. So it's just an add-on, a value add,
That's great.
So yeah, much respect to those who've come before us and have done some pretty awesome things, always.
Nice. I think that's great you said that. And I'll make sure that I include a link to both conferences. I'll make sure I put them in the show notes. So
outstanding.
That would be cool. And maybe that's a good way to kind of even wrap up this conversation here.
Yeah.
When I was talking about like, sometimes people have questions in their mind, etc.
Yes.
Everyone's got an opinion.
Oh yeah.
Right?
God bless them.
And they're definitely, and they're definitely going to have an opinion about a protector who's forward facing.
Oh yeah.
And, and
it's your boy.
Trust me. Right. Yeah. I get that. You get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
If you're front and center with your brand, and that's the marketing strategy that you have, you open yourself up to opinions. You open yourself up to criticism.
100%.
But my question is, how much does that factor into your moves, the ones that you make, and particularly your long-term moves?
Right. So my moves are anchored.
We asked a tough question.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I love it. No, my moves are anchored to my values, and I've kind of always been a guy who kind of goes by my own. I've just always found so much more in life. Every time I've been like, all right, Father, I think this is the way, he's like, go this way. I'm like, but everybody's going that way. And then I go that other way, and my values really, man, I want to make huge contributions to this game, and I know I get sometimes I get some flack for it, but then when I have a student or a listener or an EP practitioner that's like, yo, I wanted to get in the game and I found your YouTube channel and literally like, I'm here because of you. Like I hear this multiple times a week and I'm like, this is really what it's all about, and I've been given the grace to have kind of a perfect situation that really fosters that with my clients and all those different things that I deal with and principles and things I deal with. The other thing is too, I always make sure to protect the values of security, operational security. Like no one knows who my clients are. You know what I mean? Like out there, in the civilian world, you'll never see me with client equipment, anything personal or anything like that. What I want to do is get skills to the practitioner on the ground and restore honor back to our honorable service. And so if I'm getting scrutinized, I really appreciate it. I love it. My mind is very fluid. I'm one of those guys with too many ideas. And so I have to make sure I just focus on one thing. Like if you see me making a move, like someone's like, I can't believe Byron did this. Homie, this person hating on me is in the middle of like an 8-move combo. Like I grew up in the 80s in Mortal Kombat. I'm like, you're in like a 16-move combo right now. And you hating on this one right here. I'm gonna be over here and 10 over there and then over there. Right. So I know that I'm disruptive and I look at it as an honor because my end game is to contribute. I'm not good enough to be cool enough to get all this attention. Your gift makes room for you. And so in the King's court. So my goal has always been let my contributions ultimately speak for themselves, man. And it's such a beautiful way to live when you start hearing people say, man, you changed my life and contribute to my career and I'm feeding my family and stuff like that.
Yo, I really like that. I think that's like your answer was very well thought out. And because I can tell this is something you've thought about.
Yeah, this is a deliberate play.
But here, let me add to this too. You're really going to see the value of that 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You know what I mean? Those same guys. Yeah. Like when you hear or see the moves that they've made.
Yeah.
And then like you can look back at it like, oh shit, I remember when you started out at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And of course you can get some overnight success. But yeah, when you get these, 5-10 years into the game,
Yeah, man.
and you see the corporations that they're at, and again, you and I we speak offline quite a bit, and we talk about things. And I'm your accomplishments speak for themselves. But one thing I can definitely add to that is I've got perspective.
You do. That's why I just felt it. When you said that, I was like, oh,
right.
I was like, down this path, man.
Bro, I got me something. We're talking right here.
Yeah.
I was talking about this when it was MySpace. You know what I mean? And then it was Facebook, and then we got to the other thing. So all I'm saying is that throughout that time, I've watched people change, grow, develop, and I've watched guys who came into the business extremely green or extremely hesitant or unsure of themselves.
Right.
And I watched them grow and prosper. And now they're made their mark and reaching back and starting that cycle again.
Wow.
So it's really going to be
like fruitful,
rewarding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of, monetary, because I'm sure people just think, oh, he's in this for the money, whatever. There's all like, all right. Trust me, bro. Trust me. Right. But the real return on that investment, is going to come down the road, bro. So I'm happy to continue watching this journey, bro.
Thank you.
I will see you in a couple weeks because I will connect with you. At the EP forum or whatever. We'll get a chance to kick it there, and maybe even afterwards or something. I'm not spending any money on the slot machine. But I'll be there.
I don't do that either, bro. We're calculated to be playing them games.
I tell you, I don't like losing. So let me tell you so.
Right. Venomous machines flying across the lobby.
Exactly, right. All of a sudden, I'm getting walked up out of it. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I trained this guy. Why is he checking me out for?
Byron in the license show, they're starting out. I can't you imagine.
I want none of those parts, bro.
Right. Anyway.
Hey, man, thanks for making the time. I know you got a lot going on your plate this week and stuff, so thanks for making the time. I'm glad we got to chop it up. Yes. And again, I'll see you in a few.
Yo, always an honor, brother, and a good time. Thoughtful questions. I was even blessed, especially by what you just said. I was like, man, that's something I'll be sitting in bed thinking about tonight, and seeing the fruit of that stuff. Great conversation. I'm so glad that we were able to have this, brother. Heck yeah.
My guy, we'll talk soon. Later.
Boom.
You have been listening to the Circuit Magazine podcast. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to not miss an episode.